Imagine this. You're standing on the edge of a cliff, and just beyond it lies everything you've ever dreamed of and you have ever wanted. Your dream job, financial freedom, deep, fulfilling relationships, and the life you have always imagined. But there's something holding you back, an invisible force that keeps you from taking that leap. What if I told you that this force is not real, that it is all in your head? That's right. The only thing keeping you from jumping into the life you deserve is your limiting belief. We have all been there, telling ourselves stories we can't, we shouldn't, or we're not enough. But today, that changes. In this episode, I am going to show you how you can smash those limiting beliefs and unlock the door to your full potential. So if you're ready to break free and take the leap, keep listening and keep watching. Hello, Enrich community. This is your virtual bestie, Simran Adderley. Welcome back to the Enrich podcast, the show where we explore topics that inspire you, grow you, and make you a better version of yourself. I am here to guide you and take you on a journey to becoming the best and baddest version of yourself. And if you're new here, welcome. And I'm so glad that you are joining us today. And my intention for you in this episode and on this show is to leave feeling empowered, confident, and ready to break through from any patterns and any barriers that have been holding you back from living your best life. And today we're going to be diving into a topic that affects all of us: limiting beliefs. These are the silent saboteurs of our dreams, the invisible chains that keep us stuck. But the good news is you have the power to change that. So, what exactly are limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs are those deep seated convictions that tell you you can't, you shouldn't, or you're not good enough. They are the stories we've been telling ourselves, sometimes for years, about what we can or we cannot do. But here's the kicker: most of those beliefs are not even true. I've said this before. Think of your mind like a computer. Just like a computer can get bogged down with outdated software, our minds can get stuck running on old, outdated beliefs. These beliefs might have served you a purpose in the past at one point, and maybe they protected us from disappointment or failure, but now they're holding you back. Let me give you an example. Have you ever found yourself thinking, I'm just not the kind of person who can succeed in business, or I'm too old to start something new? Well, let me tell you, these limiting thoughts and beliefs are holding you back. They're not facts. They're just stories that have been repeated so often that we have started to believe them. And here's the good news. Just like you can update the software on your computer, you can reprogram your mind to replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Let's actually get practical and dive right into it. I'm going to share a very powerful step-by-step framework that you can use to overcome your limiting beliefs. Okay, number one thing you need to do, you need to identify the belief that is holding you back. So number one thing for any change that you want to make in your life is that the first step is awareness. Having the awareness, self-reflection is important in this case. Remember, you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. Something that you're not aware of, how can you even identify and make any changes? So that's why it's important to challenge yourself to self-reflect every single week. Let me tell you, we all have blind spots. So let's take a moment to reflect on areas where you feel stuck, where you feel unfulfilled. Ask yourself, what belief is holding me back there in whatever area that you're focusing on right now? It could be something like, I'm not smart enough, I don't deserve success, or I'm too scared to fail. Well, you need to write it down. There's something to do with a connection with writing and your brain. And I've talked about many studies in the past. So, the simple act of identifying and naming your limiting belief is so powerful because it brings it out of the shadows and into the light. Makes sense, right? Number two, you need to challenge the belief. Once you've identified the belief, it's time to challenge it. This is where you become a detective of your own mind, right? So you need to ask yourself, is this belief based on facts or is it just a story I keep telling myself? Often you'll find that these beliefs have no solid foundation. They're just fears or assumptions that you have accepted as truth. Look for evidence that contradicts this belief. For example, if you believe I'm not good enough, think about the times where you have succeeded or received praise. What this evidence is going to do, it's going to weaken the hold of that limiting belief. All about rewiring that belief, rewiring your brain so you can think and instill more empowering beliefs. Okay, the next step is to replace a belief. So you identified them, then you challenge the belief. Now, the third step is to replace a belief. You're going to replace a belief with a new and empowering one. If your limiting belief is I'm not good enough, replace it with I'm capable and deserving of success. Whatever the belief is, these are just general examples. The key here is to choose a belief that feels true to you, but also stretches you out of your comfort zone. So, what you need to do, like I said, write it down and say it out loud. Say it with conviction. Repeat it to yourself every single day until it becomes your new truth. And then you start taking aligned action, which is my next step. Take action. You need to reinforce your new belief by taking action. Like we all talk about saying affirmations, and even though affirmations are great, I use them all the time, but it's so important to stack up evidence for that new belief that you're trying to embed and instill in your brain. Okay. So, number four is taking action and collecting evidence. Start small, but you need to start now. If your new belief is, I'm capable of achieving my goals, you need to take one small action towards a goal, which is any goal. It could be something very small. And even if it's as simple as researching something online or making a phone call to your client, that is you taking aligned action with your larger goal. Okay. Every action that you take, it strengthens your new belief and it starts to shift your reality. Now, let's bring this framework to life with some real world examples, right? So, I have this example where, a person whose name is Sarah, she believes that she was, or she used to believe that she was too old to go back to school and pursue her dream of becoming a therapist, right? And, this belief has been instilled in her or was instilled in her for many years, which was reinforced by societal norms, well meaning but misguided by her friends and family. But one day, Sarah decided to challenge this belief. She asked herself, is this really true? Is it just something that I've been telling myself to keep myself safe? Sarah realized that belief was based on fear and judgment, not fact. And this was also someone else's limiting belief. She thought she was totally capable of becoming a therapist, regardless of her age. So what she did, she replaced it with a new belief, which is it's never too late to follow my passion. And I've talked about this in my last solo episode that doesn't matter what your age is, you can put your mind into it and start taking action starting today. It doesn't matter. Believe like you're going to live a long life, and think like you are capable of achieving all the dreams and goals. We have heard many successful stories where someone in their late 50s or 60s or even 70s are doing the unthinkable. Now, in this case, what Sarah did, she took action by enrolling in a part time course. And today she's a licensed therapist, living her dream. Isn't that so cool? Okay, there's another story. There's a person, his name is James, who always thought he's not good with money. This belief really held him back from investing and managing his finances wisely. Studies are actually showing that our beliefs can really impact us at a cellular level. whether it is a negative belief or a positive belief. So if it's a negative belief, it's going to really make you feel like crap and not confident. And when it's an empowering belief, feel how you feel in your body, become aware. So all the beliefs that you're telling yourself or they've been running the show are really affecting you at a cellular level. Okay, now back to the example. So, what James did in this case, he challenged this belief and he realized that it was based on few mistakes that he made in the past when he was younger. So, he replaced this belief with I can learn to manage my money and make smart financial decisions, sound decisions. And what he did, he started small and he started to educate himself on budgeting and investing. And over time, he turned his financial situation around. He also invested within himself to go learn from experts, so it's going to expedite the process much faster. These are just a couple of examples I'm giving you, real life examples. What can happen to people if they let their limiting beliefs run the show? It's all about perspective change, right? If you really think about it. And the truth is, we all have limiting beliefs, and we have allowed these beliefs to really dictate our lives. But when you challenge them, replace them, and take action, you will transform your life. Now, I really want you to take a moment and think about a limiting belief that has been holding you back. Maybe it's something like, I'm not good enough, or I don't have what it takes, whatever it is, write it down. Then go through this framework that I just shared earlier. Identify it, challenge it, replace it, and take action. This process might seem so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It is literally the foundation of so much personal growth and transformation. And it's going to change the way that you operate. And you're going to soon realize that we all have limiting beliefs. And there's so many limiting beliefs that we're carrying from people no smarter than us that have made up these rules in this world. There's so many conventional beliefs that have been passed down through generations to generations, and they're deeply ingrained in many cultures. And these are just few examples that I'm about to give you. Like, for instance, there has been a belief that marriage is one of the life goals that you should achieve in your late 20s. Why? I've seen that so many times in our culture, especially being a South Asian woman, that you should be married before 30, or, oh my God, like you're basically like a failure. No one's going to marry you. You're too old. No. Sometimes people find their partner and their life partner maybe in late 30s or early 30s or mid 30s or 40s, 50s. Who made up this rule book? Please tell me. I would like to talk to them and question them. There's another belief like education equals success. This idea that formal education is the only path to success can really limit our new generation. And it can also limit the recognition of alternative ways that people have used to achieve success. And, there's another deep belief that has been ingrained that men should be the primary providers. Maybe traditionally in the past it worked, but there's a lot of women who are breadwinners as well. There's another big belief that has been passed on for many generations. We see a lot of men suffering, and it goes like, men don't cry. This belief that men should suppress their emotions, it really leads them to emotional repression and mental health issues. I can go on, and I will be doing another episode on limiting beliefs because this is one of my favorite topics. I love to question things, and I think it really changes our way of viewing a lot of things in the world. We're actually here to expand our soul and become more aware and conscious, and not just follow the conventional rules that have been made up from the past generations that might be outdated, right? Like I mentioned, go through the framework that I just shared. I'm going to repeat myself. So, number one thing you need to do, you need to identify. Then you need to challenge your belief. You need to replace it with an empowering belief. And then you need to take, number four is take aligned action. That's right. You need to take massive action. And whether that is picking up your phone and making that call to your client, or researching on a topic that you've been thinking about that's going to really help you, write a blog or spark up a conversation with someone. So it's so important that you keep taking action, which is ultimately going to build momentum. And the more momentum that you build, you're going to start feeling great because it's aligned with your values and the actions and the goals that you've created for yourself. If you are looking for more support in overcoming your limiting beliefs, I would love to work with you one on one. You can find the link to connect with me in the show notes. So let's break through these barriers together. And if you didn't know, now you know I'm also a life coach. I love doing this work with you. I love helping my clients reach their goals and, break barriers and become the best version of themselves. Thank you so much for tuning in today, Enrich Community. And if you found this episode helpful, like always, I'm going to ask you to please share this episode with someone who might want to hear this message today. And also, let's say you have an accountability person, accountability buddy. I've also mentioned this in the past before that I absolutely love accountability. You should have accountability buddy, friends, mentor in your life that's going to hold you accountable, because sometimes we can all get swayed a little bit with all the stuff that's coming our way all the time. So if it works for you, not having an accountability partner, good for you, but it's important that you do. And if you do, share this episode with that person as well. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss any new episodes that I'm going to be spitting out every week. Till next time, keep growing, keep evolving, and keep enriching your life. Sending you a lot of love and positive vibes. This is your virtual bestie, Simran Adderley, signing off. Take care.